Well, here we go with another video of one of my journals, and this one is really quite special. If you remember or know anything about vintage children's books, this is the Polly Peppers book series by Margaret Sidney, and this is from 1927, so almost 100 years old. And I actually left the date in there so people would know that. I kept the insides of the first few pages because the images are just fantastic, and to have color in any book back in 100 years ago was quite a big deal. So here we've got a nice journaling page, and I've kept the first page of the book here. Sorry, my cat's going to come into the video in a sec. And this is an old page from Bird Book, Birds of North America, and that's from the 1940s, I believe. And here's an old pattern, Raggedy Ann or Andy doll sewing pattern. Isn't that fantastic? I just absolutely love that. And more journaling pages here. And then just some old book pages and a great image that I pulled out from an old book that I had gutted. You'll notice all the pages on this journal are rounded. I just wanted to give it a softer look, this one. And I really like how that turned out. Here's another image from an old book that I slipped in here with great journaling spot on the back. And I've got a little corner tuck here with the journaling tag. Let's put that way around, it's prettier. And then it's on an old dictionary page. Another tuck spot here. Let's grab a tag for that one. There we go. More journaling spots. This is 100 pages, this one. This isn't old, but I do quite like that it has a little vintage look, and it's got some journaling spots, tucks here. This is from a very old bookkeeping ledger, hand-stamped page numbers, and you can just see the sepia from it. It's a bit delicate, but it's spectacular, and I'm so happy that it made it into some of my journals. Here's another one of those bird pages, bird book pages, and this I made from an old pattern, this tag. In the pocket I made from an old book. And another tag up here. Quite a large one, and you'll notice this little detail here is from an old school book. So I've got tuck spots everywhere. You really have to look to find them. Sometimes they're hidden, like this. You'll find here, there's a little spot for journaling. And then, sorry, flip the page. Oh, look at this great gardening book. Isn't that awesome? Awesome images. And a little tuck spot here for you to put your own notes or cards mounted on an old music sheet. And here's a great little journaling page. It's from an old invoice book. Just a little tiny photo here mounted on an antique tuck spot. This is a very old page out of a scrapbook. It's so brittle and it might not last, but I wanted it in here because it's very old and it's over 100 years old, and I just love the look of it. I think it's beautiful. And this is a page out of a front of a book that belonged to Dorothy Smith. And that would have probably been the library number there. And here's another one of these wonderful old journaling spots tucked onto a book page. It's at the other side of that lovely old scrapbook page. And another large journaling tag for you, tucked in on an antique corner tuck, and a music page. An old book page here, and another place for you to put inserts, and an old tag there. There's a hand-typed story. This would have been the carbon copy. I love that. Using a typewriter. Who knew? Oh, here's another one of those beautiful ledger pages from a bookkeeping book. It's so old, but it's just gorgeous. That's over 100 years old, that beauty. There's a doily I've coffee stained, and a page out of an old rose book. It looks brand new, but it's actually quite old. It's just stood the test of time very well. Another little tuck spot here with some journaling inserts and a little tag hiding back here, mounted on top of an old book page. Look at that great image. Isn't that fantastic? And this is a book about George Washington. And I've managed to get another one of these lovely pages in here. Again, be careful. They're very delicate. They may crumble, but I wanted you to have it nonetheless because they're just so historical and beautiful. There's another image from that same book and another botanical page. More journaling spots, an antique stamp mounted on there. And yes, sometimes you'll see rips and tears. I've left those in. I think it adds to the vintage look. The other side of that hand-typed story page, and lots of journaling opportunities here. And then we're back to the original back inside cover. That is 100 pages. That's 5 signatures, and that one is going for $50. First come, first enjoy.